Bitcoin isn't just another asset. It's the caviar of investments. And when the world shifts, when traditional investments stagnate, where do people turn? They turn to Bitcoin. Today, we're breaking down why 2025 is the network effect year for Bitcoin and how it's positioning itself as the ultimate high-end asset. In a normal, stable world, you actually want stocks making 15% a year on boring stuff, on utilities, on industrials, because that means the economy is functioning. But when the sexy, high-risk stuff starts outperforming while the boring stuff stagnates, it signals disruption. And what happens when investors start looking for the ultimate alternative? They find Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't your everyday investment, it's caviar. It thrives when other high-end assets struggle. Think about it. When traditional safe havens, real estate, gold, and stocks underperform, people need a place to go. And in a world where AI is creating instant competition and eroding traditional company moats, Bitcoin remains untouched. AI is accelerating innovation like never before. The lifespan of an S&P 500 company is now just 15 years and shrinking. Big tech is dominant today, but the same forces that disrupted IBM, Yahoo, and MySpace will challenge them too. Bitcoin, no CEO, no marketing budget, no corporate structure. Just a self-sustaining, decentralized network with a fixed supply. That's the moat.
That's very good for Bitcoin. So the people that watch this for Bitcoin, you actually want a situation where people are making 15% a year in the stock market on boring stuff as opposed to making 15% on the sexy stuff while the boring stuff's not moving. And the reason is because Bitcoin is not a boring thing.
One of the most underrated aspects of Bitcoin is that it has both a technical and a social moat. On the technical side, Bitcoin's computing power is unmatched. If you combine all of Google, Amazon, and Microsoft's resources, you still wouldn't match 1% of Bitcoin's hash rate. But there's more. Bitcoin is no longer just a technology, it's a brand. It has entered the global financial consciousness. Governments are recognizing it. Corporations are holding it. Individuals are storing value in it. This is the network effect in action. The more people adopt it, the stronger it becomes, making it impossible to replace. Right now, the market revolves around the MAG7, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, and Tesla. But what happens when Bitcoin surpasses their combined market cap? That's when it cements itself as the ultimate asset, untouchable by traditional competitors. And I believe that moment is coming this year. Bitcoin is moving past speculation, it's becoming a necessity. When traditional investments slow down, when uncertainty rises, when AI disrupts everything, Bitcoin remains.
And that means that the competition for it, if you view it as it's a high-end thing, it's caviar of investments, and well, you want other caviar to not be working so that you only have one thing to go to. And that's why I really do believe this is the network effect year for Bitcoin.
One of my favorite stats? If you take all the computing power from Google, Amazon, and Microsoft and combine them, it's still less than 1% of the Bitcoin network. That's a technological moat that can't be easily broken. But there's more. Bitcoin is entering a new phase, a soft moat. It's in the global mindshare. Governments are creating strategic Bitcoin reserves. Corporations are adding it to their balance sheets. Individuals are using it as a hedge against inflation and economic collapse. This isn't just technology. It's a belief system. Right now, the world revolves around the MAG7, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, and Tesla. But if Bitcoin surpasses their combined market cap, it cements itself as a true moat, just like gold. And I think it happens this year. The world is shifting fast. The debt is out of control. AI is replacing industries, and people are looking for certainty. Gold, religion, and Bitcoin. These are the only moats that have stood the test of time, or are proving they will. Everything else? Just an idea waiting to be disrupted.
The reason Bitcoin at this point has not reached the same level as gold as a completely outside the system is because it is a technology, it is an innovation. But in the end, if you believe, as I do,
Bitcoin runs on the most powerful computing network in human history, and I'm not exaggerating here. If you take the combined infrastructure of Google, Amazon, and Microsoft, it still doesn't come close to Bitcoin's hash rate less than 1%. This is proof of work in action. Every second, miners around the world are securing the Bitcoin network, making it virtually impossible to hack or duplicate. You can fork Bitcoin, but you can't clone its security. This is where other crypto projects fall short. They're faster, flashier, but they compromise on decentralization or security. Bitcoin doesn't. It's the tank. Slow and steady, but unstoppable. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The social moat. Bitcoin has crossed the line from being a tech experiment to becoming a brand, a cultural movement, a symbol. Governments are recognizing it. El Salvador made it legal tender. Others are accumulating it quietly. Institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity, and MicroStrategy are holding it. Billionaires are openly endorsing it. Your neighbor might even be stacking sats. That's not just a coincidence. It's the network effect. The more people adopt it, the more valuable it becomes and the harder it becomes to replace. That's the power of social consensus in a decentralized world. No CEO, no marketing team, no central authority, yet Bitcoin is the most recognized and trusted digital asset in the world. That's a moat no startup or tech company can replicate. Let's zoom out. The MAG7 dominate headlines and portfolios. Combined, they're worth over $12 trillion. But Bitcoin's market cap? Sitting around $1.50 to $2 trillion right now, still a fraction of their size. But here's the question: what happens when Bitcoin surpasses them? It's not a fantasy. It's a matter of time. Why? Because unlike these companies, Bitcoin isn't tied to earnings, leadership, or quarterly reports. It's pure, unconfiscatable, decentralized value. We're entering a world where AI will disrupt jobs, inflation will erode purchasing power, and central banks will print at will. In that world, do you trust a company? Or do you trust a neutral, open protocol with 21 million hard-coded units? Bitcoin isn't trying to beat the MAG7 in innovation, it's beating them in trust. Bitcoin was once a bet, a speculation, a hedge. Now, it's becoming a necessity. When traditional investments slow down, when economies falter, when uncertainty rises, Bitcoin doesn't blink. It keeps producing blocks every 10 minutes. It doesn't lie. It doesn't bail anyone out. And it doesn't need your even if you don't believe in Bitcoin, you'll still have to interact with it. It's entering the system. It's part of the global portfolio now, whether you like it or not. People are storing value in it. Companies are allocating to it. Nations are preparing for it. Bitcoin isn't the future, it's the now. Here's the truth. Bitcoin's technical strength makes it unbreakable. The social network makes it irreplaceable. And its rising adoption makes it inevitable. The MAG7 might rule tech, but Bitcoin rules value. And when it surpasses their combined market cap, the game changes forever. This isn't about price predictions. It's about paradigm shifts. It's about opting out of a system that's breaking down and opting into one that's being rebuilt, block by block. If this video sparked something in you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who still thinks Bitcoin is just a speculative asset. They need to hear this. And in the comments, I want to hear from you. Do you think Bitcoin will surpass the MAG7? Or is that just moon talk? Let's talk.